Our Earth is warming. This is not a future threat but a present reality. Glaciers melt at alarming rates. Wildfires rage with unprecedented ferocity. Storms, once rare, now batter our coastlines with increasing violence. The consequences of our actions are stark, a planet pushed to the brink. But what if we could intervene, engineer our way out of this crisis? This is the controversial proposition of geoengineering. Could we, as a species, manipulate the Earth's systems on a grand scale to combat the very changes we have wrought upon it? It is a question that chills the heart while simultaneously offering a glimmer of hope. The stakes could not be higher, the potential consequences both terrifying and tantalizing. Geoengineering is a bold concept. Imagine vast mirrors in space, reflecting sunlight away from our planet. Picture fleets of ships seeding the oceans to stimulate the growth of carbon-absorbing algae. These are not scenes from science fiction, but potential realities of geoengineering, the deliberate large-scale intervention in Earth's climate system. Two main categories define this ambitious endeavor. Solar radiation management, or SRM, seeks to cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight back into space. Carbon dioxide removal, or CDR, focuses on capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, mimicking nature's own processes on a grand scale. These are not solutions to climate change but rather potential stopgap measures, buying us time to address the root cause, our unsustainable dependence on fossil fuels. The urgency of the climate crisis is undeniable. The evidence is all around us in the melting ice caps, the rising sea levels, and the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. International agreements to curb emissions have proven insufficient, their targets often missed, their implementation fraught with political roadblocks. Faced with this stark reality, some scientists and policymakers believe that geoengineering, despite its inherent risks, may be our only hope. They argue that it could provide a critical window of opportunity, slowing down the pace of climate change and giving humanity time to transition to a more sustainable future. But is this a gamble we are willing to take? Imagine a fleet of aircraft, soaring high above the Earth, releasing a fine mist of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. This is one proposed method of solar radiation management, known as stratospheric aerosol injection. The concept is simple. These aerosols would reflect sunlight back into space, effectively dimming the sun and cooling the planet. Another approach involves brightening marine clouds. By spraying seawater into the air, we could increase the reflectivity of clouds, again reducing the amount of solar radiation reaching the Earth's surface. These methods, while promising in their potential for rapid cooling, are not without significant risks. Altering the Earth's atmosphere could have unforeseen and potentially catastrophic consequences for weather patterns, precipitation, and ecosystems. Section 5. Tools of Intervention Capturing Carbon. While SRM focuses on reducing incoming solar radiation, carbon dioxide removal tackles the problem at its source, the excess carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. One proposed method is direct air capture, using large machines to filter carbon dioxide directly from the air. This captured carbon could then be stored underground or utilized in various industrial processes. Another approach, ocean fertilization, involves adding nutrients to the ocean, stimulating the growth of phytoplankton. These tiny organisms absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, potentially sequestering vast amounts of carbon in the deep ocean. However, such interventions could have unforeseen consequences for marine ecosystems, disrupting delicate food webs and altering ocean chemistry. Section 6. The risks. A gamble with the planet. The potential risks of geoengineering are significant and far-reaching. These technologies, while promising solutions to climate change, come with a host of uncertainties that we are only beginning to understand. Intervening in complex Earth systems could have unintended and potentially catastrophic consequences. The delicate balance of our planet's climate is not something to be tampered with lightly. Imagine a world where geoengineering leads to altered weather patterns, causing droughts in some regions and floods in others. These changes could devastate agriculture, leading to food shortages and economic instability. Picture the disruption of ecosystems, the collapse of fisheries, and the displacement of communities as a result of our well-intentioned but ultimately flawed interventions. The ripple effects could be felt for generations. Beyond the environmental risks, there are ethical and geopolitical concerns. The power to alter the climate could become a tool for political leverage, leading to conflicts and power struggles on a global scale. Who gets to decide when and how to deploy these powerful technologies? The governance of geoengineering is a complex issue involving international cooperation and stringent regulations. What if one nation's geoengineering efforts negatively impact another? The potential for international disputes and conflicts is high, as the effects of these technologies do not respect political boundaries. And perhaps most importantly, does the prospect of a technological fix for climate change reduce our motivation to address the root cause, our unsustainable consumption patterns and reliance on fossil fuels? The allure of a quick fix might distract us from making the necessary changes to our lifestyles and economies to ensure a sustainable future for all. Section 7. The Dilemma: Inaction versus Intervention. We stand at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in human history where our decisions will shape the future of our planet for generations to come. On one hand, the risks of geoengineering are undeniable, a gamble with the fate of our planet. The technology, while promising, is still in its infancy and could have unforeseen consequences. On the other hand, the consequences of inaction, of allowing climate change to continue unchecked, are potentially even more dire. Rising temperatures could lead to more frequent and severe natural disasters. The melting of glaciers and ice sheets could lead to catastrophic sea level rise, displacing millions of people from their homes and causing widespread economic disruption. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events could devastate communities and economies, leading to loss of life, property, and livelihoods. The dilemma we face is agonizing: intervene in the Earth's systems with potentially catastrophic consequences, or stand by and watch as the planet warms, unleashing a cascade of devastating impacts. The stakes are incredibly high. Intervening could mean taking unprecedented steps to alter our environment, steps that could backfire in ways we can't yet predict. There is no easy answer, no risk-free path forward. Every option carries its own set of risks and uncertainties. It is a decision that will require careful consideration, international cooperation, and a willingness to confront difficult truths about our impact on the planet, and a sober assessment of the potential risks and benefits. Only through a collaborative and informed approach can we hope to navigate this complex and perilous landscape. Section 8. A Global Conversation. The decision of whether or not to pursue geoengineering is not one that can be made by scientists or policymakers alone. It is a conversation that must involve all of humanity. We need a global dialogue informed by the best available science that considers the ethical, geopolitical, and environmental implications of these powerful technologies. Public engagement is crucial. We need to move beyond the realm of scientific journals and policy papers and bring this conversation to the streets, to the classrooms, to the dinner table. What kind of future do we want for ourselves and for generations to come? Are we willing to risk the unintended consequences of geoengineering in a desperate attempt to save our planet? Section 9. Our legacy: a planet saved or scarred. The decisions we make today will determine the legacy we leave for future generations. Every small action, every choice, and every effort counts. From the way we consume resources to how we dispose of waste, our daily habits shape the world of tomorrow. Will we be remembered as the generation that took the ultimate gamble, that tried to engineer our way out of a crisis of our own making? Or will we be the ones who ignored the warnings and continued on a path of destruction, leaving a scarred planet for those who come after us? Or will we be known as the generation that found the courage to change our ways, to embrace a more sustainable future, even in the face of daunting challenges? The shift towards renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and conservation efforts are steps in the right direction. The Earth is a complex and interconnected system. Every ecosystem, every species, and every natural process is intricately linked. The health of our forests, oceans, and atmosphere is vital to the overall balance of our planet. Our actions have consequences, both intended and unintended. Deforestation leads to loss of biodiversity, urban flooding disrupts communities, and coral bleaching threatens marine life. These are just a few examples of the far-reaching impacts of our choices. As we grapple with the profound challenges of climate change, we must proceed with caution, humility, and a deep respect for the delicate balance of nature. Scientific research and environmental stewardship are crucial in guiding our actions. The future of our planet hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will echo through the ages, determining whether we leave a legacy of hope and renewal or one of regret and devastation. The time to act is now.